Question 17. A right-angled triangle BCD is joined to a rectangle ABDE as shown below. So that's basically saying BCD, here's B, C and D. Those 3 points or those 3 vertices join to make a triangle. And that triangle here is a right-angled triangle. The rectangle ABDE, those 4 points make a rectangle. So what this sentence is basically saying, this diagram here. It then says the area of the rectangle is 45 centimetres squared. So the area is everything that's inside the shape. An area is always measured in something squared because I've got to times together 2 dimensions or 2 sides. So everything in this rectangle is 45 centimetres squared. So how do I get the area? Timesing 2 dimensions, the length times the width. It then says, calculate the area of the right angle triangle. You must show your working. So the question is asking for the area of this triangle here. So how am I going to do that? The area of a triangle is the base times the height and then divide it by 2. So we always divide it by 2 because a triangle is basically half of a rectangle. So if I was going to do a rectangle, I would have done, this would be the base times the height, but that would give me all of this here. Well, the triangle is exactly half of that. So we do the same as a rectangle, base times height or length times width, and then divide it by 2. So this would be the base of the triangle here. And the height would be this line here. And they always have to be perpendicular to each other, meaning that they meet at a right angle. Okay, so I don't actually have the height here. I don't have this measurement, and I don't have that measurement yet. So how are we going to find this measurement here, the height of the triangle? Well, it tells me that the length times the width of this rectangle would be 45 degrees. So the length of the rectangle, 9, times the width, we don't know what that is yet, so times something equals 45 centimetres squared. So 9 times what is 45? Well, you can do that in your head nice and easily, or you could say something is 45 divided by 9. Just change the sign. Instead of a times, it becomes a divide. So that's something which is the height of my triangle. 45 divided by 9 is 5 centimetres. So I know that the height of my triangle now is 5 centimetres because 9 times 5 is 45. Now I need to work out the base. So what is this measurement here of my triangle? Well, it's given me the full measurement. The trick here is to look at all the lines. I'm looking at a horizontal line going across, so I need to look at all the lines going across now. Well, this line here is going across all the way at 15 centimetres, and this line is only coming to here at 9. So I'm looking for this gap here. I'm looking for this size. So to find the base, I need to do 15, this, take away 9. So 15 take away 9 will give me this gap. So I know that that gap must be 6 centimetres. So now I've got the height of my triangle and the base of my triangle, I can work out the area. So base times height divided by 2. And the base we've now worked out is 6 times the height, we worked out as 5, divided by 2. So 6 times 5 is 30, divided by 2. This line, the fraction line, basically means divide. So 30 divided by 2, or half of 30, is 15 centimetres. And because we're working in area, it's always squared. So how will you achieve your marks for this question? So the examiner will give you 1 mark if they see 45 divided by 9 or somewhere around this sentence here. They'll give you 1 mark if you actually worked out the height of the triangle or this missing side here as 5 centimetres. They'll give you 1 mark if you worked out the base as 6 centimetres. They'll give you 1 mark if you had either of these workings here, so 6 times 5 divided by 2 or 30 divided by 2. And you'll have a final mark for your answer of 15 centimetres squared.